the topic of discussion this morning is matters regarding education and the new measures put in place by the Ministry of Education to curb cheating ahead of the national examinations for the secondary schools and also the primary schools across the country. Gentlemen, we have seen what happened in 2016 when Dr. Fred Matiang'i was the Minister for Education, and afterwards he made changes with regards to curbing cheating in the country and breaking the network of collusion between parents, teachers and students to have a fair examination process. We have seen schools being set alight, set ablaze for that matter, destruction of properties worth millions of Kenya shillings. Parents and teachers later convened a meeting to have a breakthrough with regards to having a solution to the problem. But do you think, before we go to the causes of cheating and how we can address that with regards to coming up of recommendations on how students can better themselves instead of focusing more on performance than quality education, do you think the measures put in place at the moment by the ministry is going to be valuable in the sense that it's going to restore some sense of sanity in how the exam is done and to curb cheating for that matter? Because we have had the result of 190 students cancelled from a school in Kakamega County, that is Chebuyusi High School, but the decision by NEC was quashed by the High Court Judge George Odunga, who now has been shifted to Machakos County in the reshuffle. Are the measures by the Ministry of Education enough to curb what we have seen over the past few years? Because that has been happening, that has been the trend. And is this the breakthrough to curb cheating in the country?
First, good morning to the Kenyans who are watching this. And going right to it, I would say that this is more of a half measure. It's a good measure going forward, considering the fact that these are students. These are people who are going to join the Kenyan society in the job market, in the business sectors, and all other sectors. Yeah, but and if we do not stop this culture of cheating, this culture where the easy way is the only way, seems to be the best way. And the problem is that when we look at this situation, there's a collusion between the teachers and the parents to get these students to get these examinations prior to the date of conducting the exam, of doing the exam. And these are the people who are responsible in molding these students into the best things into this society. We are all talking about corruption. We are all talking about all these vices that are happening in our society. But I would like to say that these vices start right way from primary school to secondary school. I'd like to give an analogy. When HIV and AIDS became a menace in this country in the 90s, it was introduced into the syllabus. And one of the things that were being taught, those who learned in the 90s and the early 2000s, there was so much talk about stigma and so many stories written about HIV and AIDS. And that has come, and that has done a lot of work. That has come a long way into reducing the HIV and AIDS menace in this country. So looking at that, this is a generational issue. When we are talking about creating a society that appreciates sobriety, that appreciates hard work, a society that is good in the way it deals with issues to do with morality and such. Such things have to be dealt with right away from high school. It is more than the examination. It is more than cheating on a chemistry exam. It's more than cheating in an English exam. This is a measure towards the right direction, but more needs to be done. Yeah.
Before I go to Danning, you have raised two important, or highlighted two key important issues. One is pertaining cheating being a societal problem too, considering what's happening in the country. And second, that the proposal that you have made just minutes ago to have also it included in the syllabus so that it can be seen by students or pupils that indeed it's a wrongdo, it's a wrong, cheating is wrong, and that it will be taught also as a problem that also affects these students in future. But going forward, then we have seen what has been happening, but it appears that there is a network of collaboration between the parents, teachers, and students. There are instances, the ministry did mention that money is collected, huge sums of money are collected, so that they can facilitate to get the papers of the examinations prior the writing down of the exams. So how does it help, and are these measures enough to curb the long-standing problem which is deeply entrenched and probably looks like hard to break?
The whole issue of cheating, it's a whole institutional issue. It's not an issue that can be identified with the teachers alone, that can be identified with the parents alone. This is an issue even with NEC. This is even an issue with the Ministry of Education itself. And the only way to solve this is to first cut the snake on its head. Yeah? That is the only way to deal with this issue. Go to conduct investigations in NEC, conduct investigations in the Ministry of Education, identify these cartels who have been dealing, because this is big money that is dealt with. There is a lot of money that passes hands. Yeah? People make a lot of money through cheating, and the only way that Matiang'i, that is where I say that this is a half measure. All these regulations that have been put in are half measures, and they are towards the right direction, but the other way to do it is to ensure that we get arrests of the individuals who have been selling these exams. For example, when he started in 2016, cheating reduced, but we never quite got to understand
why it was being done.
Why it was being done, or who was doing it. It took a multi-agency approach to be able to curb cheating in 2016, 2017 the same, where the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of ICT came together to ensure that cheating is stopped. Yeah? But we did not actually, we went to solve the problem on the face of it, but we did not go to uproot the root of it.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right. Now, very quickly, Dunning, before we go on a break, education is one aspect in life. Not only is it a basic need, it's also a right. Now, we not only have some irregularities in our high schools, but this is something that we see. I mean, we've all, I presume we've all gone through 844, the 844 system, yes? Now, you've seen irregularities not only in primary, high school, but all the way to the university. Dr. Matiang'i, when he was the Cabinet Secretary of Education, for Education, tried to curb this whole situation, and I think his fight was strong, Ayub, and we appreciated that, considering we were all shocked after the 2016 results came out for KCPE. How come we do not have a lasting solution? And from where you sit, where did the problem begin? Because it's not only in high school, this is going across the whole education system. So where did this start from where you sit?
Well, I think that the problem started from the fact that for us as Kenyans and more so Africans, we are more interested in the grades that our students get, other than training our students and ensuring that education is just a stepping stone towards you achieving the dreams that you have in life. And that's why you'll find students strive to get grades other than striving to get knowledge. This is what you will be judged by. You know, the society will look at you. If you've scored an A, they will say you are a bright person. If you scored a D, they will take you as a failure. And so a student will do anything, even if it means to corrupt his ways, work with the parents and the teachers to ensure that he gets better grades. That is what is happening. And of course, this culminates now to the school. The schools now work in tandem with the students because they have to ensure that their students perform well for purposes of business. See, at the end of the day, as much as it's an academic institution, it is business. They want more students to make more fees. However, the reason why we don't have a lasting solution is because stakeholders, all of them have not been engaged in this business. And by stakeholders, I mean the greatest stakeholders in the education sector are the students. You see, when you come up with policies, with declarations without engaging the students, then definitely you'll miss out the point. For me, I think it's prudent and wise that the Cabinet Secretary would have consulted and worked hand in hand with the county directors of education and inform the students on the need to end cheating and on the need to ensure that cheating has its own negative results. And we can start this by holding consultative meetings with students and encourage students on the need to work hard and the need of not relying on, let's say, leakages and exam being brought before the time comes. So to that extent, they will come up with policies, directives, but at the end of the day, the mindset of the student has not been changed. It remains the same, that I must pass my exams for me to succeed in life.